It's not the leftovers from last night's dinner. It is the ghost of Christmas past, handing you the bill. I am going to ask you to do something painful but necessary. Visualize the morning of January 15th. Michael sits on the edge of his bed. The cold winter light filters through the window, yet he is sweating. In his hand, his phone glows with a notification from his bank. His finger hovers over the app icon, trembling slightly. I'm talking about the mild tachycardia, the dry mouth, and that mix of disbelief and dull regret whispering in your ear. At what moment did all of this happen? 30 days ago, Michael promised himself that next year would be different, that he would have control. But here he is again, shipwrecked in the January slump. Michael didn't overspend because he is irresponsible. He overspent because he walked into a psychological war zone armed only with a credit card at a blindfold. Welcome to the autopsy of the December trap. We are going to dismantle the matrix piece by piece. Chapter 1: The Architecture of Illusion. Let's rewind the tape. It's December 12th. Michael enters the shopping mall. The moment those automatic doors slide open, Michael is no longer in a concrete building. He is inside a laboratory of applied consumer neuroscience. Michael notices a smell. It's subtle, a blend of cinnamon, synthetic pine, and warm vanilla. It travels straight to the limbic system, the headquarters of emotions. What Michael thinks? What a cozy atmosphere. What his brain does? It lowers its guard. Cortisol drops and dopamine begins to load the gun. He looks around, golden lights, rhythmic blinking, everything shines. This isn't decoration, it's visual bait. Michael sees a giant red sign, 50% off, today only. His brain receives a shot of dopamine. It is not pleasure, it is the molecule of desire and anticipation. Brands don't need to convince you with logic, they just need to hijack your emotions. Michael keeps walking. Suddenly, that song plays over the speakers. Maybe it's Mariah Carey, maybe it's a classic carol he used to hear at his grandmother's house. In that instant, the architecture of illusion delivers its masterstroke. Have you noticed the music? It's not background noise. It's an emotional analgesic. When Michael hears that melody, his mind travels to the past, to an idealized childhood where there were no bills, no bosses, and no stress. The consequence? In this state of induced vulnerability, price resistance collapses. It is infinitely easier to sell something to a nostalgic child than to a worried adult. Michael grabs 3 boxes of premium chocolates that cost triple the normal price. He tells himself, "It's Christmas, you only live once." A lie. Michael arrives at the toy section. This is where the story gets dark. This is where we enter the terrain of compensatory psychology. Michael has had a tough year. He's worked late, he missed 2 of his son's soccer games. He looks at an extremely expensive video game console. But then, a toxic whisper appears at the back of his neck. Guilt. There is an emotion hidden behind many gifts, an emotion almost no one talks about. Michael isn't buying a video game. He is buying forgiveness. He is trying to bribe his own conscience. It is a devastating mental trap. We think that with a good material gesture, we can fix months of distance or silence. Michael swipes the card. The beep of the machine gives him instant relief. He feels like a good father for 30 seconds. But that attempt to compensate only leaves a larger emotional debt. Giving from a place of guilt is like drinking salt water for thirst. It only dehydrates you more. Michael leaves the store and makes the fatal mistake. He opens Instagram. He sees a photo of his ex-college roommate. A giant tree, a table overflowing with gourmet food, a family dressed in matching silk pajamas. Seeing the edited showcase of others, his reality feels insufficient. In December, we don't buy things, we buy belonging. We want to feel part of the collective joy. The problem appears when we let others, brands, influencers, society, decide for us what it means to enjoy. Michael reaches the final checkout. The bill is astronomical. If he had to count out physical banknotes, his brain would activate the insula, the region associated with physical pain. But Michael doesn't use cash. He uses his credit card. He tells himself that dangerous phrase, "I'll deal with it later." The anesthesia, paying with a card, numbs the pain of spending. You don't feel the money leaving. It is an abstract act. We arrive at the end of the year exhausted. Shopping becomes a form of therapy. Michael signs the receipt. He feels euphoric for a few hours. In December, money leaves silently. But in January, it screams. We return to the present. Michael in bed. The cold sweat. The dopamine is gone. The lights have been turned off. The nostalgic music is no longer playing. Only reality remains. And reality is brutal. It wasn't grand master purchases. It was small decisions taken lightly. A coffee here, an extra gift there. Michael feels the void. Not just financial, but existential. The debt remains, weighing on his pocket and his spirit. The hardest part isn't the number in red. It is the discouragement. It is feeling that you started the year already at a disadvantage. If you identify with Michael, breathe. The solution is not to be a hermit, it is about consciousness. 1. The audit of intentions. Before approaching a cash register, ask, am I buying this because I want to or because I feel I must? 2. Courageous conversations. Stop guessing. Speak up. This year, we are going to do handmade gifts. Break the taboo. 3. Give your money a purpose. If you don't give money a purpose before it arrives, December will give it a purpose for you. 4. Radical self-compassion. If this year you were Michael, do not punish yourself. Forgive yourself. Create a small plan to recover. December is a mirror. It reflects how we live, what we value, and what we lack. The most beautiful memories are those that are given, time, laughter, presents, not those that are bought. Celebrating should be sharing without fear. You deserve to close the year with calm, not with guilt. Michael turns off his phone. He decides to make a war budget and cook something simple. 11 months pass. It is December 12th of the following year. Michael is standing in front of the same automatic doors. The smell of cinnamon hits his nostrils. A giant red sign blinks. Exclusive offer, today only. His heart accelerates. The dopamine starts to rise. The voice whispers, "Come on, Michael, you deserve it." He closes his eyes, remembers the cold sweat. He opens his eyes. He stares at the mannequin that seems to be calling him, smiles crookedly, and takes a step forward, toward the store or toward the exit.